Hello, hello. Hey guys. Thanks for attending. My name is LeClair. I just want to say before we begin, there's no way in hell I can stand still for 5 or 10 minutes, so I probably will be pacing around a little bit, but yeah, just wanted to give that a heads up. I am the head of market research at Bitcoin Magazine, and we have an exciting announcement today, a rebrand of what we do, but as well as like a brief kind of market outlook. It'll be about 5 or 10 minutes or so. Okay, so what do I do? At Bitcoin Magazine, we put out basically market insight and analysis on the current macroeconomic backdrop, Bitcoin on-chain analytics, Bitcoin mining, and derivative markets. And it's all kind of overlaid with this thesis that Bitcoin is the best money the world has ever seen. So everything that we do and publish basically comes to that conclusion, and we kind of give a data-backed approach to that. So the deep dive, that's our current product. We're super excited to announce that we're rebranding this product into Bitcoin Magazine Pro. We launched the deep dive last year at Bitcoin 2021, and so far have put out over 150 issues, 8 monthly reports to over our 10,000 subscribers. So for everyone that's in attendance, GA, you'll be getting an email tomorrow for a free 3-month trial. So make sure to check that out if you enjoy some of the market outlook that we put out in the next 5 minutes or so. We're also excited to announce that our official sponsor of the deep dive, Bitcoin Magazine Pro, is BitMEX. BitMEX, funny enough, was the first to introduce the infamous perpetual swap futures contract, have a great history in this space, and we're really excited for that partnership in the future. So we're just going to give it kind of a brief outlook. Like we said, we kind of have a 3-pronged approach to analyzing these markets. We look at the Bitcoin supply side dynamics, the derivative markets, which matter in the short to medium term, as well as the macroeconomic backdrop. We are not a trading newsletter. We are more so just a data-driven analysis and kind of visualization to help people understand what's happening under the hood. Our readers are hodlers, speculators, investors, and everywhere in between. So what's the market looking like today? And yeah, what's the outlook? Right now, the supply held, this is just one example of kind of the on-chain analytics, the supply side dynamics that we quantify and we show our readers basically 5 times a week. Current outlook, supply held for 1 year. This is sort of the cool stuff you can see and do with the Bitcoin ledger. We can see and quantify how much of the supply hasn't moved in a year. Currently, it's at 63%, and the only other time it was higher in Bitcoin's entire history was the fall of 2020. So while this is only one side of the equation, the other side being demand, the supply side of Bitcoin has almost never been as constrained as it is today, and this is certainly a really encouraging dynamic and positive for the Bitcoin price. Once that demand comes back, or back in a big way, and it's not an if but when, Bitcoin's really going to run. Like we talked about, we also examine the mining market. This is often really not understood in the mainstream circles, but Bitcoin mining and the security that a proof-of-work network with an ever-increasing hash rate, this is extremely important, and Bitcoin's proof-of-work is an innovation that many in the crypto space still misunderstand. Most people here are probably familiar with what happened with the China mining ban in 2021, but since then, the V-shaped recovery in Bitcoin in the hash rate has been incredible. This chart that you're currently looking at is in logarithmic scale. On the left side, we have the phrase 10x listed 7 times. What this means is that since 2012, the Bitcoin hash rate has appreciated by over 7 orders of magnitude, an incredible growth rate in the price of Bitcoin, in the hash rate of Bitcoin, which is actually probably more impressive than the price. And currently, hash rate is at 200 exahash per second, and we're projecting to get around 300 by the end of 2022. Derivatives, something that you will never see mentioned in mainstream financial circles, CNBC. They're not going to cover this, but it's extremely important in the short to medium term driver of Bitcoin's price. While we won't go into the nuances of all the Bitcoin derivative markets today, you'll often see that short term, medium term, the local tops and bottoms of the Bitcoin market are characterized by the leverage in the system and the position of that leverage. So the funding rate is just a way of showing whether these derivative contracts are trading above or below the spot market price, and whether the leverage bulls or bears are pushing the price and which way. Since November of 2021, we've seen a lot of that leverage and speculative mania in this Bitcoin market completely purge and go entirely risk off. So much of that 2021 bull market, as you can see, shown by the kind of the blue and that funding rate, the bulls were paying 50, 100% annualized rates to go levered long in Bitcoin for much of 2021. That's all gone. So derivatives are entirely risk off. So we have the supply side, which has never been more constrained, almost, and the Bitcoin derivative markets, where that speculative mania, that leverage is completely gone from market, really positive development. Lastly, why am I showing treasury yields? Why am I showing inflation? Who cares about bonds? Like we said, one of the things that we focus on, and basically our thesis, my thesis, is that Bitcoin is the best money the world has ever seen. I joke about how those that compare Bitcoin to gold are completely missing the point, and it's just an easy, digestible talking point for boomers. Jokes aside, not meant to offend anyone. Bitcoin, in our opinion, our thesis, is that Bitcoin is not competing with gold, although it is a better money than gold and will outcompete it. It's competing with the sovereign debt market and really the entire credit market as a store of value. Right now, there's about, and this is an estimate, hundreds of trillions, but let's just say for the sake of it, $100 trillion of credit out there, which all comes right now with record high inflation at 4-decade highs with a negative real yield. What that means is that bondholders, creditors are guaranteed to lose their purchasing power over time with how the current monetary system is designed. Bitcoin stands to capture much of this market value, and thus this kind of reinforces our thesis that Bitcoin is the best money the world has ever seen and stands to appreciate by several orders of magnitude over the coming decades. So that's just a little bit about what we do, just a taste of what we put out with now Bitcoin Magazine Pro. Thank you for staying with me today. Super excited for this announcement and the coming deep dives, Bitcoin Magazine Pro issues, and I hope you guys all give it a chance and subscribe. That's all I have today. Thanks for attending. My name's LeClair, and appreciate you guys.